Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Max Bytes, my mini podcast I do to illuminate and inform and hopefully clarify some of the chaos that we have going on around us these days. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a very, very interesting week, and it's been a while. I think it's almost been a week since I did my last Max Bytes, which is a bit of a record since my return in early August. Been real busy this week, lots going on, but I hope all of you are doing fine. I know a lot of you keep in contact with me throughout the week in my chat rooms and on my channels, and those of you that are members of Maximus Premium, we're always talking every day, almost around the clock, it seems. But I hope everybody's doing fine. I think this is Max Bytes like 38 or something like that. And if you wonder where I get those numbers from, it's because I've been doing Max Bytes for about a year. And they're really just my mini podcasts are just these positive messages. I don't consider myself a podcaster, professional podcaster, so that's not my shtick. But I do these just to kind of reach out and connect with my loyal subscribers and followers. And I think I've been doing it for about a year, and so I keep a numerical order on them. But I used to just upload them to my Telegram, my public Telegram channel, so you can see the old ones going back to last year on there. I should have started uploading them to YouTube and Rumble regularly, a year ago. I don't really know why I didn't, but I didn't think anybody was going to like them. But I'm glad you guys liked them. So I'm going to start off by saying, hit the subscribe button if you like this. Make sure you subscribe. Don't just listen. If you return regularly, hit the subscribe button. It means a lot because it pushes the algorithm up, and the smaller channels will start getting like mine. I have a pretty engaged group though. I mean, I have about 4,000, a little over 4,000 subscribers, and my videos fetch anywhere from 1 to 3,000 views each. So that's a pretty good engagement from my subscribers, percentage-wise. You see big channels with millions of subscribers, and they've got like, they have millions of subscribers and they get like 30,000 views per video, which is pretty lousy. But anyway, so hit the subscribe button, which is the old cliche. And also make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. I really love the comments. So it's great when you guys engage like that. And I try to reply as much as I can. So also check out the community tab. I post stuff on there too. So I make use of it. It's a lot of fun. Actually, I'm having a good time. But so I figured today I'll kind of go over a few different points. We'll break this down into a regular, like I typically do with a normal Max Bytes, and I'll break this down into two sections basically. We'll talk about election 2022, and I'll talk about illegal immigration, and as part of that, and then actually we'll do three sections, and then I'll give you a mini update and what's going on in the world of Max, in my world. So, anyways. So talking about election 2022, I think some people are still, and it's typical, they're not as much doom and glooming going on. It's like a cycle. You ever notice that? We have a lot of doom and gloom, and then things kind of abate for a while and look good, and then there's going to be another cycle of doom and gloom. So we're going to get another cycle of doom and gloom here probably in the next week or two. It's just typical we do that because we've been pretty much having a good run of it for a few days, or for over a week or so. If I look at election 2022, I have like absolute faith that we're going to win, and we're going to win really big. The question is to how big of big is there? I mean, is it going to be like, 1994 big? Is it going to be 2010 big? Is it going to be 2014 big? I mean, that was also a big year for Republicans. 2014 is kind of overlooked, especially in the Senate. So, it's like, where are we at? And the fact of the matter is, I mean, I don't care if Rasmussen suddenly has the Republicans ahead by one. Rasmussen kind of fluctuates a little bit. They all do. All these pollsters fluctuate a little bit. Trafalgar has the GOP by 6, which is plenty. If you look back at 94 and in 2010, the GOP was statistically tied with Democrats going into November, and they came ahead. They won, and I think it was in 94, they won with like 54 seats. And in 2010, they won 63 seats. So with that, you could extrapolate, and this is pretty consistent. And I think in 2014, the GOP were 2 points ahead. That gave them 9. That gave them a few House seats, and it gave them 9 Senate seats, almost 10. They almost won Virginia that year. What that basically means is this, and this is a good rule of thumb. If the Democrats are not ahead by 5, 6, or 7 points in the congressional ballot, they're very unlikely to hold the House, and they may lose the Senate, depending on how many Senate seats and which Senate seats are up for grabs. This year, the GOP is defending more Senate seats than the Democrats, which makes this strategically a problem for Republicans going into the general election. It's always been that way. The cards are stacked more against them, numerically winning the Senate. But the seats that they're defending are pretty much safe Republican seats, except for maybe one, and that's Pennsylvania. That's the question mark right there. I'm not worried about Wisconsin at all. In fact, you should subscribe to my Telegram and Twitter accounts if you're not already. You should be on there because I'm going to be posting a lot on Wisconsin. And become a member of Maximus Premium. Today I'm dropping a lot of details on Wisconsin. I'm going to be breaking that down along with some of the other races and stuff going on. In fact, Maximus Premium launched on the 1st. And if you're not a member, you need to become a member. Check your emails. If you're not on my email list, by the way, email Roxy Balboa, the number 1 at gmail.com. Get on my huge email list, and you'll be getting updates from me that way. So make sure you email her. And I have her email, and I have the contact list in the description of this video, so you can just click it and you can pull all this stuff up. But you definitely want to become a member of Maximus Premium because I talk about all this stuff in details there. But at least get on my Telegram and Twitter channels to get some updates. But the fact is that when you look at these, the polling, when you have Republicans marginally ahead or 6 points ahead, 1, 2, 3 points, that's still a Republican victory of the magnitude of like 94 and 2010. So when you start talking 6 points ahead, or I'd say actually statistically tied is a victory for the GOP. But when you start talking 6 points ahead, you're talking about earthquake territory. I mean, stuff we've never seen before. Now, I realize that redistricting has taken place. Some states that's already in place, not for the 2022 elections, but they've agreed to the maps. I also understand that, so people wonder about that. I also understand that certain demographic changes in certain districts have altered the political landscape somewhat. So there's some things that are baked in, they won't move. But I've heard those stories before when I was a kid. So, and yet you still had these massive election victories like in 2010 and 2014. So I'm not really so sure the pundits know what they're talking about. So when you see GOP ahead, now I know some polling has the Democrats ahead. Usually it's registered voting, which you don't want to look at. But because it's likely voting models that you have to look at. But the bottom line is at the end of the day, the GOP is going to sweep the House. I mean, there's no question about it. And down the ballot's going to be sweeps. I mean, we don't even talk in the state legislatures. In 2010, the Republicans won over 800 state legislative seats they flipped. So, stop and think about that. I mean, a lot of those state legislators that won in 2010 went on to run for the U.S. House and are now serving in Congress. So, it's an entire farming field, if you would. It's like they have a farming field like you would in baseball, okay, a farming team. So they're just bringing up these Republicans. That's why lower races are as important, at least to me, winning those as winning at the federal level, winning the U.S. House and Senate. So when it all said and done, I don't see any problems. The Republicans are going to. The question is the Senate, because they have the cards stacked against them. I mean, can they hold Pennsylvania? Are they going to win in Wisconsin? Yes. Are they going to flip Arizona? There's these questions, these variables, and every race is different. I'm not going to go into all of that here. I can't go into all of that here. But the outlook is really good. So I'm not too worried. So I want you to all relax. Just relax, breathe, relax. Take a deep breath. No matter what anyone's saying, I know there's some people out there that have spun some fear, and they do that, I think, in some cases for good reasons, because they don't want people to get complacent. But also, I think they do it out of ignorance sometimes, and maybe this is to sell clicks, and I don't like that. So we're going to win, and we're going to win big in November. The question is just how big is big? I mean, how big is it going to be? Is it going to, and that's what we're going to discuss. By the way, at my Civics Maximus seminars. Next month, Civics Maximus 2022, the update, I'll be giving my full projections, and I'll be doing two of these. So you can sign up for one or the other, or you can sign up for both. It's up to you, but it's October. It's October 24th and the 25th, and the encore is going to be the 28th and the 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Civics Maximus 2022. The midterms update, I'll be giving you my full projections of the elections, and it'll be over 2 days, both of these. But, I mean, I will update the second one if there's any major changes or even minor changes. I'm going to take you from election to election, the U.S. House, the Senate, the gubernatorial races, the state legislatures. We're even going to talk about local elections, and I'll be answering everybody's questions at the seminar. So reach out to the Angels and the Warriors and tell them to reserve a seat for that. Tickets aren't on sale yet. You can email Roxy directly about this too, RoxyBalboa, the number one, at gmail.com. Again, you can also DM her on Twitter or Telegram and Truth Social. It's at Roxy_Balboa. And again, I have it in the description below, so make sure you click it. And we'll get on my email list, because I'll be sending email updates about this too. So that's next month. My next civic seminar, by the way, is going to be next week, which I think is important because a lot of people have asked me questions about this, and I might as well just tell you guys. So we'll be talking about an Article 5 convention of the states. We'll be talking about states' rights and individual rights. We'll be talking about the vax mandates. We'll be talking about constitutionally resisting tyranny in the Biden era. It's going to be really good. It's Civics Maximus, the Anti-Federalist. That's September 23rd and 24th. And the encore is September 29th and the 30th. I can't even speak now. September 29th and 30th. It's at 7 p.m. So again, contact the Angels and Warriors. Same thing. Tell them you want to sign up for it. It's great for the family. If you've been to my other civic seminars, and the thing is I talk about all of these things at my civic seminars. Everything I talk about on Max Bytes, everything I do on my channels, I go into even more details one-on-one with everybody. It's a Socratic discussion, so I have a lot of patriots there, a lot of scholars there, and we're always talking, and everybody can ask questions and comment. And I seek to field all those and just teach. So you really would enjoy it. But if you've been to my other civic seminars, you definitely want to attend the Anti-Federalist. It's a follow-up to all of those. So let me tell you about switching to Martha's Vineyard. That's all I'm just going to say. Illegal immigration. Okay. I think it's hilarious. Don't you guys think it's funny what these guys are doing? I mean, it's just, to me, I just love these governors DeSantis and Abbott. I just love what they're doing. I think it's great. I think it's funny hearing too what Newsom said yesterday about it being kidnapping, or whatever he was implying. It's human trafficking. Isn't that what the coyotes are doing south of the border? Isn't that what these other guys with the cartels are doing when they smuggle these people in and out of our country? They're committing all of these crimes. So why is it suddenly a problem when a governor in the United States is just shipping them off to a Democrat bastion? I don't know. Suddenly there's a crime involved, and we need to stop these cross-border trafficking of humans. And I'm like, but what about the southern border? It's the irony in that, those stupid statements from these. I mean, how can people in California keep electing this clown? And it's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, you have to go back now and watch those videos. I think it's I forgot who it is that does them, but there's quite a few guys out there that do them, where they go around on campus and they interview students that I mean, in which country is Africa? And they're standing around like trying to figure that. I don't know, China. I mean, that's the kind of answers they give to these questions. These are college students, and it really makes you wonder about the future of America. But I have a lot of hope for us, and because we are the greatest country on the planet. No doubt about it. But anyways, about illegal immigration. That's actually going to hurt Democrats. I mean, they have to see it. Voters in those areas have to see what the problem is. And I think that actually is going to make because it's going to be on all their televisions for days, cycling through the local news. And they're going to be looking at this like, is that what they're dealing with in Texas? Is that what they're dealing with in Florida? Is that what they're dealing with in Arizona? Is that what they're dealing with in California? That's bad. I didn't know it was that bad. These people, because then you have to face yourself. So, but anyways, whether or not you really believe the stuff you spew, and so it's like, yeah, I mean, these I think that's going to have it's going to have an impact like that. But anyway, it's really good to see them kind of snapping back and actually and pushing back like that. And but illegal immigration is a systemic problem that goes a lot deeper. We have institutions that profit off of this and profit off of trafficking in ways that you have no idea. I'm actually doing an entire series right now on Maximus Premium, which you need to become a member of. Contact Roxy, and she's the one that handles signups for that. And I put out my first in a series of articles on it, exposing the systemic corruption when it comes to these corporations. When I say corporations, these nonprofits that are actually profiting off of this. We're talking billions of dollars in federal money every year for taking in these illegals, taking in children. They're part of a system, and then doing tons of kickbacks to politicians even across the border. It's really sick, and I'm exposing it. So you definitely want to become a member of Maximus Premium and learn about that. That article series is very powerful. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this Max Bites. I'm going to finish up with this positive note, and that is this: no matter what you're going through and where you're at, remember this: the Lord loves you, and so do I. And we're going to get through it. And this country is going to get better and better. And we're less than 2 months away from a seismic shift in American politics. I think personally, we're going to start washing away, sweep away a generation of liberalism. And we're less than 2 months away from it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And join Maximus Premium, join my seminars. Sign up for the Anti-Federalist next week, because I'll be talking about the elections too, even a little bit next week. And if you can't make it to next week, do the following week, because we have an encore. Whenever I get a lot of requests, and obviously the dates don't work, I try to schedule an encore. Also, if you're interested in doing a crash course with me one-on-one or in a small group, we do schedule those based on individuals' schedules. So contact Roxy and let her know what your scheduling is, or any of the angels, and we will put something together. And a crash course is one night only, and we go through the history of republicanism and conservatism. We scrutinize the Bill of Rights. We talk about the long-term effects of election 2020. I go through the election process, current reform legislation that's going through state legislatures. That's what we do in a crash course, and it's a real intense 3 or 4 hours in a small group setting, and we'll do it either in the mornings, we'll do it the afternoons, evenings, we'll do it on the weekends, whatever works for your schedule. So that's another option for you. And but definitely join Maximus Premium. I hope to see you on there. I hope to see you on my channels. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. God bless you, I love you, and I will be talking again to you real soon. Ciao now.